After months of wanting to get new front suspension and rear suspension for the VXR, I've finally gone and bought the Bilstein B8 suspension and IBAC springs and got everything needed to fully swap out front and rears today. Also got a few extra little bits for maintenance on the car and a few spares for if they ever get damaged in the future. I'm going to start unpacking these and get them out of their boxes and start assembling. So I've got everything unpacked from the box. These are Bilstein's upside down monotube shock absorbers. Basically the damper is installed upside down in them compared to this rear damper where the narrow side of the piston is going through the top of the shock body, and that just gives a little bit more stiffer construction and should be a better road feel. Got nice IBAC springs to go on them. Should be stiffer than original, quite stiff compared to the Saks ones that are in the car already. And then we've got all the new top mounts and bump stops and dust covers. I think these come with an internal bump stop already. I'm not going to take them apart to find out, but from what I've looked up, that seems to be the case. And we've got some dust covers for it. I've got all of the dampers assembled, front and rear, so ready to start fitting them to the car now. I've just started the driver's side after doing the passenger side and went in fairly okay. There was a small problem where I had the shocks assembled wrong, so they came with a spacer first, then the lock nut, washer and the nylock, and in the diagram it shows the spacer above the lock nut, but so I assembled it off the diagram and then went back after found out there was about 1/4 of an inch of a gap at the top of the strut and it was wobbling around. So changed that back around. It's gone in now and it's nice and tight and looks fairly good. Can really see how much the suspension moving has affected the tires. So like there is not very much left on that inside shoulder, not very much left in the center of the tire, and the outside shoulder isn't great either. Toe is slightly off from doing the steering arms and never getting a tract after that, but I knew I had to do these shocks regardless and the tires needed to be changed, so there was no point in getting a tract at the time when I was going to have to do it all again. Don't know if you'll be able to see this, but yeah, it probably doesn't come out very well, but there's quite a bit of movement in the shock absorber. So this is the spacer that I was talking about. So in the diagram it's here above this lock nut, but in reality I've put it below the top mount on this shaft here on the damper, and then that's all tightened down with this nut, and then the top plate clamps everything together in the car. So like when this was where it is in the diagram, it was leaving a 1/4 of an inch gap, and when flipping it around it's in there nice and snug. Just got the first one of the rears in, so nothing too difficult here. Just 2 bolts up top, 1 on the bottom, and replace the spring. So I'm just going to put the liner back in, put the wheel back on and do the other side. Just finished putting everything back together and it looks okay. The car is a little bit lower than what I was hoping for, especially in the rear. The front isn't too bad. I'm going to take it for a little test drive now and see how it feels. So the initial impressions are the old dampers were definitely well gone. Even just sitting into the car and driving out the gate, you could tell there's a massive difference in their performance. There's a lot less knocks and rattles just going over normal little bumps, and it's squatting less on acceleration and diving less on braking. So need to have a week or two of driving it just to say for sure how good they are, but initially very happy, and want to get new tyres, and new tyres next week and get everything tracked up and lined up, and we'll see how it is after that.